Hi everybody, Jo here again. Thanks so much for popping in. Today, little festive number. Now, as always, look, I've done the front of the card, and this is straight on the card blank. Little sample on the back, and a little something, permanent ink on the envelope. And I do think there's something lovely about decorating the card blank itself. Now, just a little word, I do always check, look, that nothing runs through. These are such a lovely, lovely quality of card. It's 300 GSM, so the colour doesn't go through, look. And that is something to bear in mind when you're going straight on. It needs to be good quality of card. So I'm using these, so they're the white circular card and envelopes from Lavinia. So I'll just decorate the card today to show you. We're going to start with the Nocturne and a lovely, lovely stamp called Jip. So much you can do with it. I always think it's one of those stamps that you look at and think, oh, what would I do with that? But it is amazing. And today I'm going to use it almost as a tree look. When I looked at the size, our lovely Christmas Joy Christmas tree was just a little bit large. And I thought, what else can I use? And I love doing that because that's how designs come up. And it's always nice to use a stamp in a different way. So I'm going to ink this up. And as always, I've just got copy paper underneath. Just because for me, it's almost my comfort blanket. And so I'm just going to pop this sort of in the middle-ish about here. I say ish because, you know, and just give it a minute for that ink to soak in and then carefully lift it up and look at that. The detail is just amazing. So next we'll come in with Annie and Edward, and again I'm going to stick with the black. Now again, these are silhouette. So we'll just put Edward down first. And I just want to put him so he's looking up. So sorry if my head comes near the camera. It's just important. And I'm just going to leave him a little bit longer. So if you're one of our lovely new followers with a silhouette stamp, it's always best to just leave it down that little bit longer. It just lets the ink soak into the card, especially when we're going direct on the card blank. So again, lift it up and then you get the most beautiful image like that. Look, the detail is amazing. So we'll ink up Annie. Now I did say the other day, I do wonder, A, how old these are. How old do you think? But, you know, that's the beauty of stamps because you can use them. They can be friends. They can be boyfriend, girlfriend. They can be brother and sister. You know, you can use one on their own, you can use them together. I did say to recent workshop, I was going to put them facing each other because they were friends. But do you know what? If they've fallen out at school, I could put them back to back when they're not speaking. And I love that, the way that the stamps, my mind just wanders. I'm sure it's not just me. So what I'm going to do now is we've got our lovely Christmas charms. And what I like is on this one here, this thread, the hanging, is the same sort of line with dots in as Jip. So it really goes well. But what I need to do here is be mindful that this hanging thread is too long, look. So I need a piece of copy paper and I need to bring this in because I'm going to put my first charm hanging there. And then I'll put my third one from here. You just have to hold everything, hold your breath. Right, and then I'm going to put one from the top. So when I'm doing this, it's just, I've got to keep the copy paper in the right place and I want it straight. So that one I'm going to put there. And it's just getting them so we get it at the top, look, that they meet. If it didn't quite meet, you've got your black fine liner pen. You just draw another dot in or a line. And don't worry about this, we're going to decoupage this one. So on a scrap piece of paper, scrap piece of card, and you know we save every one, don't we? Look, I've stamped some extra charms and I've coloured one in. And I will keep those. I've got a tin for those now. So not only have I got one of my little tins for my butterflies and my bumblebees, I've now got one for my charms. Now I've got one of my Christmas greetings here. And again, I've put it in my block, sort of in a bit of an arch shape, so that it will follow this design. So again, I'm just going to put this sort of here. So we've got that lovely shape. So again, it all flows. And then we'll give that a bit of a blot. I have to be careful lifting this up because I do use my copy paper again and again. And it's not often, I often blot it and I think, was that clean or not? Not many pieces in this pile are clean. So that's given us our basis for the design. So now we just want to add some scenery. So I'm going to come in with two colours, the blue atoll and the confetti. If I want it pale, I could use, recently I've used a lot of Della Blue and the violet chalk, and that was quite pale. And a few ladies said, could we have something with a bit more colour? So I'm listening and we're going a bit more colour. Now, I'm thinking we'll have the moon, and I'm just turning it this way. For me, it's easier. And I'll just put my moon over the word yours over here, I think. See, I don't want to put it in the middle. I just think it looks too... So I think it looks better off centre. And I'm using my large brush, and I've got one for each colour. And as always, I'm just going to dip it in the lid. Now, sorry if there's a bit of a shadow today. It's quite dark here in Cheshire when I'm filming this. We seem to be going through winter where we're not having much light, but I'm sure a lot of you the same, you know, depending where you live. I bet some of you have even less light. Now I'm adding the blue and I'm always going on the mask, and I'm just going to come, I will add my hills, which I'll show you, so I don't want to come too far down, so I'm being mindful of just coming at the top here, look. Now I do want some pink, but my confetti, and again, I always like to just say this, you will know your own ink pads. I don't use my pink as much as I do my blue. So my blue atoll is quite a well-used ink pad, but my confetti isn't as well used, so it's still very juicy. So I have to be mindful to definitely dab it on the mask, look, and very gently hold it lightly and very gently. Otherwise, I will get too much pink. Now, I can actually have a little bit more. And again, it's better to build that colour up. But I want that sort of pink blue in the sky, and it'll create a purple. So I can go in a bit more with my blue and just spend your time building the colour up. Right, let's take that off. And I love that sort of moody sky. Now, to create the snow, what we're going to do, and let me have a look which one. The best way to do it is actually to create this, finish off creating the sky. Now, when you put your mask on, look for the shape of the moon. We can almost follow that there. Now, again, it's important. We don't want to chop anybody's heads off. So let's move this here. So spend a bit of time looking and just seeing. I think if we pop it there, look, we can miss Annie and Edward's heads. Don't worry about that. That will just follow that shape there. So yes, I'm going to go for that. So I'll come in with the blue, and I'm concentrating in the middle of the card. I'm not going to put any more pink on. I think I may have enough. Try and put my hands here so we don't get as much shadow. If I want to have a look, oh yes, I like that. So can you see we've got that lovely sky? And because we've created the sky, this instantly looks like the snow. Again, it's something a few people have questioned and asked recently, how to make the snow. So it's actually the sky you create. So the white card gives you the impression of the snow. So what we can do now is just a little bit of grounding. Now for this, I'm going to go to smaller brushes. And what I can do under Annie and Edward is just come in with a bit of blue. And then, now I didn't have a pink brush look, but this one I've had my red on. So I'm just going to see I've probably got enough colour on there. And always test your brushes. And we're just adding that bit of, oh, it's alive, that one. We're just adding that bit of shade underneath. Now I need a bit more blue in that, don't I? Because that just looks a bit too much pink. So if we add some blue, that'll bring it back to the tones of the sky. Now here we just need some undulation, I think. So let's just add a little bit of a, so there's a bit of a hill there. Again, need a bit more blue. It's amazing how much pink is coming off this red brush. Yeah, I like that colour there. Now let's just have a dip. Where should we have a dip? There, I don't want it the same shape. You see, if I did that, it would look wrong. So we'll just have a bit of a dip there. So we'll go for a bit of the blue. And again, we're just going above. It's a different way to we create. If we were creating our hills, we would do it this way. So when it's snow, it's this way, just the opposite. And there we go. So we've got that lovely, I'm going to wipe those later. Promise I will, you know me. But what we can do is now just add a little bit of colour. And with my red Signal pen, I'm just going to add just this little bow on Annie's dress and that there. So, our lovely hanging baubles, my Wink of Stella pen. And as I say, I have tested it and it won't go through. So I know that's fine. I'm going to add 2 here. And again, this will give the colour and the sparkle. And then I've already got one cut out for the top, but I am just going to put some gold round the edge. And what I will do, I just want to add some gold into the lantern. So a little bit of red and then drag that out. And there we go, we've got the gold. But what I'm going to do now is use my gold and my clear, and I want to add a bit of a glow around the lantern look. So if I put the gold and then come in with the clear and blend it out, it'll give me that glow. And I can also pick a little bit of the gold like we do with our clean colour pens, a little bit of gold on the clear, and then take it where it would reflect on Annie, but then just blend it out so that it gives me, can you see that gold, but then it blends out. So I can do the same on the tree here. So where we've got the most gold, and then just blend it out. Again, round the lantern. And then just come in now, it's gone back to clear, so I can blend that out. And I find it just gives me, it's another way of adding that nice glow. And we would get a little bit reflected in the snow. So I'll pick a little bit of that gold up. And then blend that out. And a bit of copy paper, little bit of card here, look. Just get it back to the clear. I always like to get it back to clear before I put the lid on. And it's just a nice way of doing things. Now, I just want to get my pastel pencil, which is filed on the floor next to Eric. So, just with the white, I just want to add just some little highlights. Now, again, you could use your gel pen. I'm just using my pastel pencil. And then a little smidge. Now, when it comes to my bauble, I'm going to use my Bippity Boppity glue. But I've got to be honest, I find if I put the glue on the back like that, the bauble tends to fly around. So what I've started doing is just putting my glue on the actual card, look. Put the lid on. And then if I put this, I've just got a better fighting chance of getting it perfect. Now, if you want to put some little bows on, that would look lovely. Just going to add a little bit of our Stickles. So this one is Stardust, and again, I pop it on my mat because it can be a bit rude and spit. And with an empty, she says, where's my Stickles? Yes, my empty one that I use for painting, just under where I've got that shadow, I'm just going to put, and I find if I paint it on, it'll last longer, but also it'll be just a nice thin. I don't want too much. Just want to give that idea. And then we'll wipe that up, and then we're ready for our Posca snow. So, Posca pen. Oh, what I do want to do, just with my gel pen, is just a couple of highlights on those baubles. But if you wanted to batch card make this, you know, how lovely would that be? Now, I could faux bleach, I could put water here, but I always find if you're going direct on your card blank, you need to test if your card will take that water. Not all card will. So that's why I'm going for my Posca snow rather than my water faux bleaching snow. I always think it's best to explain these things so that you know why we do what we do. I mean, I know you've probably thought of that already. But there we go. Now, I just think it's just a lovely design, and hopefully you've already got the jip stamp. And I'll bring this one in. Just shows you. You could change the colours up. And if you were sending it to a family with 2 girls, you could pop stamp Annie twice, couldn't you, at this side? Or maybe Annie, maybe Pippin this side. Again, mix it up. But I hope you've enjoyed that. Thanks for popping in, and thanks for spending time with me. I really do appreciate it, and all your lovely comments. Honestly, means a lot. So you take care, and until we pop back again, love and hugs from me. Bye for now.